Good afternoon. So this morning we spoke about how in order to attain a state that is liberated from suffering, there's the state of nirvana, which is a state of lasting, stable peace, then one has to engage in the cultivation of the mind of the Buddha Dharma. And in order to cultivate or develop these minds of the Buddha Dharma within oneself, then one requires a basis. And as we've been looking at over these few sessions, amongst the various bases, the very best is that of a precious human rebirth. And having attained a precious human rebirth, if one is able to ordain to, then that the preciousness of this rebirth, of this basis, is further enhanced. So the prayers that have been made, that we looked at this morning, were to overcome obstacles that may arise to receiving ordination, and that once ordained, to overcome the obstacles for remaining ordained, as well as to not commit any faults, whether prescribed or natural misdeeds. And so the way to approach this is to have this as an aspiration for the future, whether in this or future lives, but also to relate it to how we live our lives now. Because all of us here have vows on our continuum, and thereby have the aspiration to keep these vows purely, as this serves as a basis to create causes for ongoing future good rebirths, and as well as to refrain from harming others. And to make this commitment to do so for as long as we live, for the rest of what remains of this life.
냠네 제고 그래서지 나 냠네 제고 치야래 디네자 다디네 다 태바침비기 냠네 제당 고시야래 디네자 디네기 태바치 심제 탐지기 되는 냠네 제야 돼야 안에 니메직다 다와직 로하시 마인바치 산지 고방 마토기 봐도 안에 까와 봐도 메바 냠네 제야래야 안에 지기 깔레 뒤네 메바치 냠네 제 투버 쇼세 몰람제래 디고 쉬야래다
Having attained this basis of a precious human rebirth and ordination on that basis, then how should one engage with one's practice? So here now we are encouraged not to consider our own welfare, our own happiness as our primary motivation. This achieving our own happiness shouldn't be our principal objective. Rather, to have a far more expansive outlook and view the welfare of all sentient beings as equally important. And then combining this with, in terms of the vastness of the number, also of number of beings, with the vastness of the duration. That one commits to striving for the benefit of others, not just for the duration of, say, this retreat, or for a few weeks or for a few months, but to do so to the end of this life and beyond, until enlightenment itself is achieved. And whatever hardships one encounters, to generate the strength of mind, that those hardships will be overcome because of the greatness of the goal that one is striving to achieve. And then again, let's read the sixth verse. So, just before I read it, I just want to say something on translation, just for one's own knowledge. So the term we have here in the sixth verse, which is pure, and then before we had, in the third verse, we had pure life, and I think we maybe had somewhere else. So this word that is being translated in this way, it's specifically, it can be translated as pure conduct or celibacy. So that is the general meaning. The literal meaning is pure conduct, or as we have other versions here, but it also has the meaning, or is translated as celibacy. So then the sixth verse. I pray that on such a pure foundation, and for every mother sentient being, I devote myself with hardship for countless eons to every aspect, profound and vast, of the Mahayana.
태바 침부기 취념네 제고레스 태바 침부이 상주에 된라 태바 침부이라와 지상 저게 상주에 된라 냠네 제의 랑 지구도 봐 많이 저거 심전 탐지게 된다라 심전 탐지게 된다 상주고 투비 쳐도 안에 취념네 제고레스 상주에 된라 태바 침부이 있어야돼 당보디 직 당보디 된다데 디레다.
The meaning of this verse then starts out by saying that having attained this foundation of pure conduct, or this foundation of celibacy, then one engages in the cultivation of the mind of the Buddha Dharma, but with a very definite motivation that one is engaging in spiritual development for the sake of all sentient beings without exception. And therefore, one has received these vows. One is engaged on this journey of pure behavior, and to do so for the benefit of others. And therefore, the Dharma to be cultivated is that of the Mahayana Dharma. And in terms of the duration of time, one commits to striving in the cultivation or the practice of the Mahayana Dharma until each and every single sentient being attains the state of enlightenment. So we have as a motivation the enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings without exception, until that is achieved in terms of duration of time.
냠는 제게 람데라 태바서와 대 첨보라 요도 제사 람 태바 냠는 제 첨보 태바 첨보라 대 태바서야 돼 아주 냠는 제게 람드체 되네 첨보라 요도 군로들이야 안에 심제 탐지기 된다라 상교고바 투비 철도 태바 장주 심기 군에 라제 안에 태바 첨베 가서 람 냠는 제가 람데라 장주 심기 군에 라제 장주 심기 심비기 다 람게 남샤지어와 어디다 잡아 첨보해야 돼. 그래서 저 미유디 저 심전 탐제 야첨보 타예버 조와 심전 탐지게 돈다라 동화세에 돈다 안대양 토비하게 연된 대양 연된 용수 족바 배 연된 개침보다 연된 용수 족바 타르침비게 이 연된디 토비하게 돈다라 안에 예 군노디 된지 쉬어봐인자 군노 배 개침보 유샤송과 고미유 심전 개침보체 디 돈다라 냠내지야 대양 토비하게 돈다 람 냠내 람디 토비하게 톱제기 람대야 배체 탐 정없음 또바 타르침바 개침보 내니기 이신 라 이시 토바 제바인자 아니 군노디 디기 요반자 되네 타바 첨보사 차송과
Final word of the verse for us in English, it says Mahayana. So the meaning of the Mahayana is, in English, it would be great vehicle. So what is the term of great, the meaning of these two words here, great and vehicle? So first, the term vehicle, this means path. So the mental path of the Mahayana, of the great vehicle. So vehicle would refer to path. And then great, so this then refers to the motivation. And what makes this motivation one that is great? So this then has several aspects. So the great here one should understand in terms of being amazingly vast and expansive and limitless. And what is vast and expansive and limitless? So this is, we can think of in terms of the number of beings that one is sincerely striving to benefit. Not just oneself, not just those that one feels a closeness and an affection towards, but each and every sentient being, whether seen or unseen, whether of this world or other worlds, each and every sentient being. So then this is the first aspect of, in terms of vastness, expansiveness, limitless. Another would be in terms of the destination. It's not looking to help beings just in some temporary measure, although that would be fine, but in terms of the most perfect of all of goals, the greatest of all goals, that of enlightenment. So the wish is to benefit all sentient beings, and in the most expansive way possible, the greatest way possible, leading them to enlightenment. Those two components comprise the generation of the mind of bodhicitta. And bodhicitta, when it is generated, the practitioner has this, because bodhicitta is a mind, has this mind of bodhicitta, which is the mind of the great vehicle, of the Mahayana. And then furthermore, the objective that is being established here is in terms of the faults that need to be eliminated of all sentient beings, so all sentient beings without exception, that includes oneself, all sentient beings, they need to be completely eliminated so there's not a trace left. So this then is a third meaning of the term great. Again, let's bring out this quality of expansiveness. And then the fourth would be in terms of the qualities attained, again, for all sentient beings, which would include oneself, that leading all sentient beings to the state of enlightenment, their qualities would be perfected, which means that they are perfected, they can't be developed further, they are limitless in their perfection. So this then is the meaning of the term great. It has this vast and expansive connotation in terms of the beings, the qualities to be cultivated, the purification required, the goal itself, and a fifth, the duration, the time that it will take. In one's mind, there is no limit in terms of, well, I will strive at this for this period of time and then enough. This is until the job is achieved, until each sentient being is completely freed from problems and difficulties. So this motivation, this greatness of the motivation is what is meant by the term great in great vehicle, and vehicle is the path, the mental path. And then in Sanskrit, this would be Mahayana.
Lam Jake Lumba Chin Chilia Drosaki, Della Lam Sigurati, Drosachilla Lam Nagorwa, Dina Shinga, Sangi Salo Drosaki, Dragi, Yamnan Chesi, Delia, Manatu Lam Labdu, Model Masona, Model Lamgalasi, Model Dredi, Lumba Chil Druin, Della Dinche, Drosaki, Della Dinche, Model Dragi, Densa de Lam Nagorwa, Drosaki, Droya, the Densa de la Lam Sigurwa. Dina Shinga, Sangi Sala. Sanji Toyala, Sanji Salia, Droyalia, Chick Carly Tin, Drovers and Chick Tinge, Della Tin, Drover, which is a Denigan Lam, Yamlin Jackie, Della Tinge, Drogonza, Lam. Tizana the Tabatoya in there, Tabatovala, and the Tarbico Watovala, Carly Tin, Topulana, Lam, Chick Yamlin Cheche, Yamlin Topu, which is a Yamlin Jackie, Della Lam Sigurwa. Tizana Denmark. Geshe Thubten Lam Dorje, the Lama Tibetan Dorje, Tsongkhapa de la Lama Chuju, the Tibetan Dorje, the Lama Tibetan Dorje, Tsongkhapa, Chempo, let the Tsongkhapa, Tsongkhapa, Dorje, Sanji Sala Dorje, Taipei Sala Dorje, Tsongkhapa, the Lama Tibetan Dorje, as Gochu, Dorje, that Dorje and Chempo. Lamga Cheba del Joas, Lamga Chuju de la Joas, and Guru Adams dinner in Anzu Kagele, dinner in Chebos, Jordu, Kunlung, and Simjatam de Jinia Sheban, Kunzo, Simjatam Jiganda, Topja, in Den Yachimo Tova, Topic, some Ninila Dene, Lam Yamne, Lamdella, Joans and Tapa Chimbe Lam. There are many Tarva, Shina, Kunodia, Sosuchibu, Dana Sampayada. And Topjadia, you then Chasan Saya, Mother, Tiba Pumping, New Tiba Pumpo, Tarbazam Toa Mother, the new and then Dile Lava, Tokyo Hadia Vayenza, the Shiasajo, Wanchako, and then Masona, and then Chuarua, the Denenza, Rende Chuare, Kunodia, Sosuchibu and some Damaza, Yachua, Deneza, Denegi, Kuno, Dene Toyo, Rani Chibu and the Kunia Lang, and Topjat, Tarbazam Topte, the nigger some the Tony, Lam Yamnaja, Lam Dilla, that. Tapa, Chung, Slam, Sigurwaja, Tapa Tunes, and Tene, Trosa de la Lamga de Chua del Tugo Research, Chua del Tronque de Lechua, and Mother League of Marcy or Jibarita.
Having looked then at what great vehicle means for Mahayana, then let's look at what path means, because we can also talk about the path of the Mahayana Dharma. So path then, we know this word path or road from our everyday life. If we want to get from where we are to somewhere else, then we need to rely on certain conditions, including to have a path or a road to travel on. And depending on the destination that we want to arrive at, we will go on one of a variety of different roads. So if we just ambling around in the countryside, we'll go for a walk along a country lane to arrive at our destination. Or if we perhaps are going to our local town, we will drive along a country road. But if we want to go to somewhere far greater, bigger and in greater in duration, like Melbourne or Canberra, we're going to need to go on the highway. So there's a variety in paths that one would rely on in order to arrive at a differing destination, a destination that differs in terms of its greatness, perhaps. So this term path that is used is specifically used because it has this connotation. So what we're trying to cultivate is a mental path, because to travel from where we are now to the most extraordinary of destinations, that of enlightenment, what needs to change is not what's around us, but what's within us. And therefore it's mental paths that we need to cultivate, not change the external world. And if one is striving for whether it's a good rebirth or liberation or enlightenment, this all depends on the cultivation of inner paths, of mental paths. And in this specific context of the Mahayana Dharma, then the path always has as its goal full and complete enlightenment, not just for oneself, but to attain it in order to have the skill and the ability to lead, to guide sentient beings in their own inner development, so they too can cultivate these same paths and attain enlightenment. So then the meaning of the Mahayana path then, or the path in the Mahayana context, is, as we've just been hearing, all good qualities to be developed to a point of perfection. All faults completely, without any trace, any remainder, eliminated. And this is done through the greatest of motivations, a motivation for each and every sentient being, and until each and every sentient being has attained the state of enlightenment. So this is the meaning of path, and in particular, the meaning of path in the context of Mahayana Dhamma.
Sabi lamda, and the Gachi lam yirimba, so that Sabi said Sabi lam yirimba, Gachi was and Gachi lam yirimba, so subject Gachi chunum chinyabas.
So when we take the term a bit further, we talk the paths of the Mahayana Dharma. So we've looked at paths, we've looked at Mahayana, or great vehicle, and then Dharma. So what is the Dharma to be practiced? And that is expressed here in our verse in terms of being vast and profound. So the stages, the graduated sequence that needs to be developed comprises of both vast paths and profound paths.
Now, Sabi lam yirimba, Gachi lam yirimba, so that Jasa, Tabachimbi Yamlenchela, Sabi lam yirimba, Gachi lam yirimba, Yamlencha, Horeson, Jasan Sabi, subjings and Sabi lam yirimba, Gare Labna, Direda, Chanchu Simbi, Simbi, Gone, don't you to be shut up together, and Sabi Gachi lam yirimba, don't you go on, Saba, don't in the garden. That Kunzo, you go Sapsho direda yu Tombani de Che. Sesan di Tombani topic lam, Chanju Semi Simbigi, Tonyu topic lam Kemba lam Jorwa, or Della, and Sabi lam Yirimba, Sesan di Yamnche or Esor.
You'll de, Tompani de Zabmo Yure, then can Goso, then Zabmoki Yuchin. Tompani can do some pimp.
It's not you Tombani de Che. They don't buy you topic, you Saba, the Tomba in the chair, they don't pig, that shut up Saba, shut up, they don't you to be shut up. They are Janju Simbi Simbi, don't you to be shut up some Mayimba, Janju Simbi Simbi, yet don't you to be shut up Yamsling or S, Yamnaja or S subjects.
What is meant by these terms vast and profound? Because both of these aspects are contained within the Mahayana Dhamma. So first, then let's look at vast. So vast is the mind of bodhicitta, the mind of enlightenment, that is conjoined with the wisdom realizing emptiness. So this is what is meant by vast. And within this, the bodhicitta conjoined with the wisdom realizing emptiness, this is called vast because, sorry, I'm saying vast, I mean profound. This is called profound. So what is profound? It's the mind of bodhicitta conjoined with the wisdom realizing emptiness. And why is this profound? Because the most profound of objects is emptiness. And the most profound of subjects or of minds is the wisdom that realizes emptiness. So this is the meaning of profound. Or to express it slightly differently, the most profound of apprehenders or subjects or minds, this is the wisdom that realizes the most profound of objects or apprehendeds, and that is emptiness. So this is the meaning of profound.
Janju Simbi Hone and the Jambata Zewa and the Ninji Chimbotan, Rua and the Janju Sim Koronche, Then Jajusim Simbi Hone, and Jimbe Yamne, Sujim Yamne, Sube Yamne, and the Junju Yamne, Sunday Yamne, all these Chaza, Jashivelam Yimbasure, or Dizunam Jagore, said Yamne Jedi, this way.
So then, kunde den det ngol zabmulam labna det nyamnen je yang sung pimpe.
Dirade.
Okay, det kunde det labne.
Nyamnen je lam de la gachivelam yirimba chida sabelam yirimba yores. Gachivelam yiri sabelam yirimba karasna tong youtube lo jachu simji simbe tong youtube lo de nyamnen je gore sabelam yirimba se dires. Da dan gachivelam yirimba nyamnen je gore se gi gachivelam yirimba de kare lamna then Janjusim Simbi Tone and the Jamnije, then a Janjusim Korong, then a Jimbi Yamna, Sujin Yamna, Seva, Zunju, someday, Sherab, Aksa, someday, the Sherab to pass the Jin Shesarava, Jesa someday, or Diso, Yamna Jadi, and the Gachivel, Diso, and the Garso, Gachivel Amirimbares, or that is on Yamnche Hores.
So, as we've just heard then, what is meant by profound is these are the stages of the profound path that a bodhisattva should practice. So that's a clear way to express it. What is meant by profound? These are the stages of the profound path that a bodhisattva is to practice. And what is that? So it's a wisdom realizing emptiness conjoined to bodhicitta. And as the wisdom realizing emptiness is the most profound of minds or subjects, that is realizing the most profound of objects, emptiness. And then the stages of the path are the stages of the vast path that are to be practiced by a bodhisattva are minds such as love, compassion, special insight, leading to the arisal of bodhicitta itself. And then in addition, the remaining 5 perfections of generosity, ethical conduct, patience, joyous perseverance, concentration. So these remaining 5 perfections, together with the minds leading up to the cultivation of bodhicitta, such as love, compassion, special insight, and then bodhicitta itself, these are the stages of the vast path that are to be cultivated by a bodhisattva. And when these are conjoined with these then get conjoined with the wisdom realizing emptiness to make the stages of the profound path that a bodhisattva is to practice. And furthermore, we see here every aspect, and every aspect then refers to all the stages or all the levels that a bodhisattva needs to engage in. In other words, the entire vast and expansive array of activities of inner development that a bodhisattva needs to cultivate. So all of these need to be practiced, or instead of practice we can say literally, all of these need to be gained experience of. So all aspects refer to the very vast array of practices a bodhisattva engages in.
동이 전주 셈기 심비오 권에 동이도 베셔라 이게 사비게셔 사비람 이름바 대냠는 제야 되라 사비게 사비람 이름바세 동이도 베셔라시 대자지월람 이름바 라비오도 다 전주 셈비 냠는 제게 람 동이도 베셔라 마행게다 지바 추준서바 전주 삼 전주 라소바 되네게 냠는 제야 되라 안에 자지월람 이름바 하셔야지 다디네 나데 삼된 세셔로 삼된 디 나로라 니가 용 거래. 같이 lam 이름 봐 용 거래. 네, 사비 lam 이름 봐 니가 용 줘 그래.
if one looks in detail at the multitude of practices bodhisattvas engage in order to benefit sentient beings, then this can be presented in teachings themselves, which are both vast and profound, because of the incredible multitude of activities bodhisattvas engage in so as to bring greatest benefit to others. But when we condense them just into two, we have, as we have here in this verse, the vast and the profound. And as we heard, the profound is the wisdom realizing emptiness. So the bodhisattva engages in the stages of the profound path, means they cultivate the wisdom realizing emptiness. And all the other practices a bodhisattva engages in, every practice that is not the cultivation of the wisdom realizing emptiness, this is included in the vast. So everything that is not the wisdom realizing emptiness is included in the vast. The one exception that bridges these two is the mind of concentration. This comprises aspects both of the vast practices and the profound practices.
yu tongpa ni la mi ji shine chung ro de so na tong yu to be sha cha go ro cha tong yu to be lo ro cha de so ya pa ka so re sa bi ja chi la sa bi la mi ri ba pa sha da shine de la yang chi tongpa ni men ba yu tongpa ni men ba an mi ta pa da an yang yu shan tongpa ni men bi yu shan la mi bi shine mang bo yo ro de so an ja chi la mi ri ba zu sha cha sam den ji na lo la an tong yu to be shine ka yin ba de sabi yachivelam yirba bhaja tene tongyu toba mayin bige yu tongye lambi ba mayin yu shan lambi bige shine kayin bade yachivelam yirba bhaja tene koshi jashaba na janshu simni nyamlen cheyagi lam yirba tene yachivelam yirba da sabi lam yirba nima to yo mara da dinya du sare.
So whether the mind of concentration is included within the practices of the stages of the vast path or the practices of the stages of the profound path depends on the object that is being meditated on, that is being cultivated within. So concentration, we understand in this context, is the union of the minds of calm abiding and meditative insight or special insight. So this is what is meant by concentration, this very powerful, penetrative mind. And when it's been applied to the object of emptiness, when the bodhisattva is engaging in meditating on emptiness, then she's cultivating the practices of the stages of the path of a bodhisattva, of the profound. But when the object is anything other than emptiness, such as impermanence or love or compassion, and when that is being meditated on with concentration, in other words, the union of calm abiding and meditative insight, then that mind of concentration is included within the stages of the bodhisattva's vast path. So that's how concentration straddles both divisions of the vast and the profound.
Tsangchue che tepa chimpi chue nyamlen che ge lam de nyamlen che de khare lam de so la sabi kya lam yirin ba dan kya chue lam yirin ba de ni re se de ta di nyamlen che ho re se ho wa che sa di nyamlen che so sabi kya chue lam yirin ba nyamlen che se de tong yu tu bi tong yin le che ba che ji so so tong yu tu bi lo di pa ko mye de re di ko mye de ro ne chen shu sem ba de gi ge ane Gabriel ya tong ba ni ko mje tong yin le zhe ju de nyam ba sha che nyam ba sha kumgore ane yang Gabriel ya ane chu nyamsha chu dang che nyamje dile dang de jimbe nyamlen che da ane sha le jimba da ya da chue gi jimba so su gang xin bi ge yuan de ge wa sha le lab ge chue xie che chue gi jimba da ya ane ji ge su su bian jiu tuan de xian ane sa ya dong ya de ne ge jiu zuo ya ane bian jiu tuan de zhuo song jimba da ya ane lu yu guo ne ane so su ge ya ro che xian le lu yu guo ne jimba da ya ane de ne ge da ngāgi kōne, ane jimbataya, ngāgi tā sosu chū, lāyade ngāgi jimbataya. O dine jine, ane sosu ki nyamlen che, shenle yang jimbe nyamlen che chūya dāng, tsudimni nyamlen che chūya dāng, sebe nyamlen che chūya, dūs jine jimbataya, desu ki nyamlen che, dūs jine nyamlen nā. Yang, ane dine ki nyamlen mangbo nāng sāne, yang tōngpa nila yang nyambar shaa, dūs jine yang, jik reme jine, dūs jine nyamlen nāng chūgōrwa.
Kono tani di tamadini kene. Reme sena, konso gom gyabdu, konso...
Gom gyabdu, zamla tōngpa nila zishi nyambar shaa. Dine nyamshaa dila chāne yang, hā su rōwa jine mi liya.
Sabu goso, yini gom gyabdu, takpa tōngpa ni, gom gyabdu yore, yang mena konso yang, di pachin sempa nga, de kola yang gom gyabdu yore.
Jisa taba tōnyi sida, dā me bāda dine gōnguru wāda, yine da ngē chēdi, da dīsādi, tōnyi dili shīgōr mātā, dīsīgōrwa. Jisa pene, janshi semba tige tōnyi tupi, sō gāra sanda janshi me nyamlen de sāngyō gōpāng tōya chī nyamlen chīgōrwa. Sāngyō gōpāng nung tōpa la jibā shirī pāng gōgōrwa, dī pāngya nyambo di tōnyi tupi shērā jisa tōnyi la nyambar shēgō, tōnyi gōngōrwa rēch. Kāpē la yāchi, di ngō de shanda gōmbāya yōnsigirwa, nada tōnyi gōngōrwa sēt. Jisa tōnyi nyamshā chī gōm, nyamshā chī gōm, nyamshā kāpsu, dā kīshiyā dā gāgu shio mara sū nyambar shā chirwa. O dūs nyamshā gōm. Dine nyamsha gomne, dine yang tsu nyamsha dila dang che, ane shen liya ngo su tu che, ane lunga yi jimba daya dang, ane sosu ki surim soya dang, ane shen liya surim soya ki labya dang, ane sosu ki soya pa gomya, shen liya soya pa gomna juba, ane zangyi ki nyamla che pala zun ru somya dang, shen liya zun ru somdo juba, odu si nyamla nangyoro, dine ki naya di da gyashi wala mi riba nyamla naya, jisa janshu sen begi da nyamla nang dus nangyoro.
As we're seeing here in this verse, then, one is making the aspirational prayer that having attained not just a precious human rebirth, but having gone forth and ordained and engaged in pure conduct, keeping one's vows unblemished, then one engages in the practices of the Mahayana Dharma. And these practices, the path to be cultivated, these are the two, the vast and the profound. And we've heard then what is meant by the practices of the vast path and the practices of the profound path. So a bodhisattva then spends her time when in meditation cultivating primarily the wisdom realizing emptiness. So a bodhisattva primarily meditates on emptiness, cultivating, ever strengthening the wisdom realizing emptiness. And that is because with this motivation to become a Buddha for the sake of others, the obscurations have to be overcome, whether or both the obscurations, those to liberation as well as those to omniscience, they have to be completely abandoned, and they can only be abandoned through the cultivation of the wisdom realizing emptiness. So therefore the primary meditation, the most common meditation by far that a bodhisattva engages in is cultivating the wisdom realizing emptiness. A bodhisattva, however, doesn't spend day and night solely in meditation. In between meditation sessions, then the bodhisattva engages in beneficial activities for others. Every expression of their body and of their speech and their continuous direction of their mind is one of bringing benefit to others. And they'll bring benefit to others physically through, for example, offering assistance to others where they can be of assistance, offering material aid to others where they can do so. They'll help others through their speech, through teaching the Dharma, the primary way the bodhisattvas benefit others. And in all these activities between meditation sessions, when the bodhisattva is engaging in activities of benefit to others, whilst they're practicing this generosity in this wide variety of ways, at the same time they'll be guarding their ethics purely, they will be practicing patience when the opportunities arise, they will be persevering in their activities with great joy. So in this way, the bodhisattva in meditation session is in meditative equipoise primarily on emptiness. And then between meditation sessions is engaging in the practice of, explicitly in the practices of generosity, whilst engaging in the other perfections at the same time.
안되네 자 이면 비게다 내가 저기 sem바디에 그냥 저기 년뒤 람다 랑제기 람취 냠는지 더네 롭 냠는지야다 안디서 아니 가서네 현리아 최송고로와 대공주변에 대 년뒤기 리젠데네기 년뒤기 최 대외관 소리야 년뒤기 최시야다 랑제기 리젠 대소리야 랑제기 최시 신의 주고로와 온디네자 대수수수기 마신외나 시야요 말 디네자 대수기 신야게 롭청제 냠나자 나 자주 생비게 전는 주와다 배 타야바레 당주 라순 휴차요 말에 근데 자주 생비게 전는 주보라 신야리아 잠잠 아니 지금 소수기 롭청 집에는 아주 소자로다 디네기 잘라 수해 납제 디네기 라비아로다 판도주야 잠잠 아니 지게写当前你不是米列搞不出来的，然后强差不多你先会搞不出来的，但那个现在偏别个教啊，包都没法学，当我这个那是咱们这个俺这那俺这还五毛多啊，现在真是身边个教啊的了呀，现在偏别教啊，他呢，咱们这个写差不多的写路差不多先搞不出来的，俺这所学个写先立节，俺判断主要的。안참잡지고수야당 참 랍제 그 저수야 당 아니 지 제모로 랍제 고수야 당 야고수야 당 되니게 토네야 탑 장수 선반은 병아들이 팬디에 주야 될이야 탑 빠도 매바 저러 와다 진예 봐서 저는 진예 봐서 뒤로 와다 배 마세 개침 뭐 다들 아주 진비에 냠는 수제 냠는随便냠는做어떻게 시요라 그래서 되니게 양라 최비 거두야 아니 가브리야 변에 샘제 저도 되니게 배 되네 소리야 아니 지금 판도 침에 짐바다야 류규토네 아니 짐바다야 되니게 다 빠도 매바 지가 인상 저기 샤상 쉬는 쉬 차야서 말다 쉬 차요 말 나도 보지 쉬 신이요 말이다
Just to talk further then on this term here, every aspect. So for very ordinary beings like ourselves who are still so pervaded by the self-cherishing mind, it's difficult to comprehend the vastness of a bodhisattva. A bodhisattva is given rise to this overwhelming love for others and this overwhelming compassion for all beings without exception and all beings equally, who has this intense wish for others to experience only happiness and be completely separated from suffering. Guided by this incredible love and compassion, they engage in the vast array of activities, these inconceivable activities to benefit others. So a bodhisattva will primarily engage in the variety of activities relating directly to the six perfections, so meditating primarily on emptiness, and then helping others primarily through generosity, whilst being joyous, patient, and ethical. The way they help others, this is vast in a way that is difficult for us to relate to. So the most obvious and the most important is to teach the Dharma. But in addition to this, in every other way possible, they will take the opportunity to help others. And to be able to have this wide variety of skills, they will seek out and take any opportunity that comes to develop their skills. The most obvious then would be, not all beings are inclined to the Mahayana Dharma. Others are inclined towards the Theravada Dharma with its the practices of the heroes and the practices of the solitary realizers. So therefore, a bodhisattva will become skilled in these practices so that they can guide beings who are inclined to the hero or solitary realizer path and lead them to liberation from suffering. But moreover, there are others who are not yet, who don't have yet the inclination towards the Dharma. But the bodhisattva, still driven by this overwhelming love and compassion, wants to connect with these beings, establish a connection and help them, and benefit them in any way that they can. So therefore, whatever worldly skill can be developed, they will develop. They will learn language, they will learn how to make things, how to repair things, also that whenever the opportunity comes to help others, they're skilled and they can help others. They will learn how to sing, they'll learn beautiful songs, and if this is a way to make connection and thereby later to benefit, they will do this. And this is driven by this incredibly vast and expansive mind, this mind that is without limit, always looking for ways to benefit beings.
나도 교고 실롱에 다들 닝제선 걸려야지 제로와 제도 진바 장주선발 유디 푸센트 장주선발 자요. 제가 장주선발을 푸이 진바 자요. 근데 내니기 푸요도 장주선발 되기 그 푸이들이 개와디 방어와 휴지 몰람 개와. 제가 내니 현장 내니 손남 침버 사고 신 손남 사이게 돈다다 배 교고 휴라 제제 롱미 롱이 수되지 롱아 용한테 연구를 해서 그래. 제가 안 되게다 단에 장주선발 하모를 방어 휴지 좀 걸어. 제가 내니 질이야. 안섬나 내니 연구를 제가 내니 질 롱아 폐지 안 되게 다 될이야 진바지 푸야라 바이나 마술로 손남 빠도면 봐 사고 레지래. 지사 장주선비게 신는 주비야라 잠잠 미지부제 피고라 잠잠 미교제 피고라 잠잠 눈르게 남바도 피고라 아주 샹래 펜버주야라 단남마 다 말아되는 것 피생기 된주야라 다치기 되니기 주여봐다.
Because of the incredible variety of dispositions and personalities amongst beings, bodhisattvas show themselves in a wide variety of ways so as to make connection and benefits the incredible array of varying mental dispositions among sentient beings. And in accordance with this, bodhisattvas often present themselves as being destitute, as being impoverished. And one may think, well, why do so? Is it because they want to accumulate a wealth through the efforts of others? Well, of course not. With this motivation of love and compassion, they know if they appear to be destitute and impoverished, when ordinary beings encounter them, virtuous minds will arise in the ordinary beings, compassion will arise within ordinary beings. And powered by this compassion, ordinary beings will practice generosity and create virtue. And moreover, the bodhisattva and the ordinary being will create a connection there. And then the bodhisattva, powered by this incredibly powerful mind of bodhicitta, will dedicate the virtue that has been accumulated to the enlightenment of this and all sentient beings. So this is their way of thinking, and with this way of thinking, they appear as impoverished beings. They may appear in other contexts as beings of great power or great influence. In any way that can be of benefit, they will appear. And in doing so, motivated by this mind, this incomparable mind of bodhicitta. So this is something for us to bear in mind, that whomever we encounter, we don't know who this person is, but what we can be certain of is that a bodhisattva will appear in a wide variety of forms, in whatever form is required in order to benefit beings. Okay, then sutum ki kole yanke sungro.
Sutum so ya de nyeje tembe sutum nye chigi me sa. Den an je so ta gi tin na di gang ya ne chi sang ji gi je ba de ni gi song she bi song ya de. Jan ju di gang le jan ju sen ba nam ji an ne ga ren nyam zo nyam len ga ren ngor so sutum de ya. Rang de rang gi de na rang je jing sam ba de de ya mix su ga ji sung go le rang je jing sam ba. 자유선배가 가래 냠는데 가래 체배는 현유도 나냐냐마도 랑기도 나 삼디 된거 맞아. 소야디 자유선배게 냠는 지야라 바시조 직디 랑제진 삼바들이. 세상 랑제진 삼바디 예디 barche zo dire chesa janju sembi ko sonya zo de rang chi sin samba sung ko da chesa churim sung yo de sonya de rang chi sin samba sung ko wa.
Looking at the second of the bodhisattva practices, that was generosity in our ethical conduct. So generally, how we understand ethical conduct is a mind of restraint, a mind of keeping our vows well, and thereby pacifying, subduing our mind, and thereby not bringing harm to others through our physical and verbal behavior. So for a bodhisattva, this is similar in that it's a mind of restraint, but what they're trying to restrain primarily is their principal obstacle to either the generation of bodhicitta or the ever expansion of their bodhicitta. And that principal obstacle is the self-cherishing mind. So this self-cherishing mind, when the bodhisattva practices ethical conduct, they're primarily guarding against coming under the influence of the selfish attitude, which is the self-cherishing mind. This is the way a bodhisattva practices ethics.
ane sabo tongpa yi topi sherab nyamne jaya dang ane gyachewa janju sem da nije jam nije janju sem jimba da surin soba zonje samde nyamne jaya de nga ozu nyamne jaya de gyachewa lamji rimba sabi gyachewa rimba tongyu topi sherab nyamne jaya dang dene gyachewa lamji rimba jimba surin soba zonje samde nyamne jaya rwa chesa di nyamne jaya deji di nyi di sherab da di nyamne jaya de nga zo gari dundu nyamne che gore yasin soso digi ruya dan soso kanga seya ki dunda rewe yasin di ma re yas an gari lana semjen tamji ki dunda la semjen tamji dunga dhaya semjen tamji digi ruya semjen tamji sanji ki sala yu goya ki dunda la nyamne che gore yasin chisan tsik nyi de sumba de la karso manam dundu kawa duma yis manam dundu si ma gyur ma ru ma gyube semjen tamji dunga seya dan semjen tamje digi tuya semjen tamje sanyi sala goya ge dondala sosugi nyamne che gores kayasin nga jugi semjen tamje dunga sigin la gorwa semjen tamje digi dugin la gorwa digi duya la dunga ganes se gor digi ganes dugo re lamna nga jugi jige mara jebje digi se tuya dunga se tuya yo mare ane nga jugi kala te je dini semjen tamje le digi tuya yo marwa 아니 가르쳐 오르려면 안주 냠는 제디 제 탑시 가르당 오르려면 콘술에 취해시 소수기 냠는 제제 콘술에 취해시 취해의 냠는 제제 삼루 주와 당제 콘술 삼루 주와 당 곰주 아니 곰 냠는 제주제 되는거 산지가 살려고 오르와 그래서 콘술에 취해시 곰주 봐라 소수의 신고 오라 소수의 마신나 셰요 말해 소수의 곰제 냠는 제제 소수의 귤 냠는 냠뇨지 매나 매니 곰주 두야 파도지 두야 가고 싶어와 지상 소수게 냠는 제라 냠는 제 곰바 타르친 바요라 산지고 바래 지상 산지고 바 토바이나 데네 소수게 냠는 제데 냠는 타르친 바래 연된 차상 신사와래 신리아 네 페버두야라 강하 유네요 말와 튕게 차상 사디고 지네 데네 인자 심진 두마세야다 digi tuyala dunga se tuyada digi tuyada nyomo ba ke ka dunga yang su kyu nyomo ba re ndi pa ya la sim juwa tang gom nyam len ji ju je an me ba se gore je sa ndi me ba se ba ina dunga nga la se tu gore dunga se tu gore an digi tu tu gore dine inza an gonzu ki nyam len je ju ba la so so shin ko gore je sa dine inza sim jen tham ji gi don da la an gom go nyam len je gore se don da di re
Then again, Selside, Manam Dundu, Yamara, Manam Dundu, Kawa Duma.
Kawa Duma is jealous. Manam Dundu, Semjan Tamjig.
So when the Bodhisattva engages in meditation, they primarily engaging in the profound practices of the profound path, cultivating the wisdom, realizing emptiness. And in between their meditation sessions, they're engaging in the vast path and the practices of the vast path. And as we've been hearing, so this would be, primarily mean through generosity, helping others. And whilst doing so, also engaging in cultivating ethics, joyous perseverance, and patience. So they're doing this for everything they do, whether it's engaging in the practices of the vast path or the profound path, both are motivated solely for the welfare of sentient beings. And not just some but not others, but all without exception. And that is shown here in the second line, and for every mother sentient being. So this is the motivation at the forefront of the Bodhisattva's mind. Whether she's meditating or engaging in activities between meditation sessions, the welfare of others is always at the forefront of her mind. And the way then to benefit others. So the Bodhisattva, as we've been hearing, will help others in any way possible. In accordance with their own individual personalities, will strive to help them. But to help them in a way that is most meaningful, then through changing the external world, that is not going to help others in the most meaningful of ways. Certainly not engaging in conflict or warfare, but not even, for example, giving through material generosity, such as feeding the hungry. Whilst that does bring benefit, that is not the primary goal of a bodhisattva. The primary goal of a bodhisattva is to enable beings to fulfill their heartfelt wish and be liberated from suffering in its entirety, and through experiencing the lasting stable happiness of liberation, and then to cultivate further and attain enlightenment. And the way to do that is not through external changing the external world of beings, but through teaching the Buddha Dharma, because it is in this way that beings develop the knowledge and the skill to change their own inner worlds, and that is something beings have to do for ourselves. But in order to teach, it's not sufficient for a bodhisattva just to study or even to do some study and reflection, but they have to gain experience of the teachings. They have to engage in actual meditation, so that whatever guidance they give through teaching, they're teaching not just based on knowledge, but on knowledge and experience together. And in this way, their words, their behavior, these two will be in harmony. So therefore, a bodhisattva needs to engage in studies, reflect on the studies, and needs to meditate in order to be able to teach others from experience. So knowledge has to be cultivated. Without knowledge being cultivated and reflection engaged in, then meditation will not be effective. And without meditation being effective, then the bodhisattva will not be able to teach and guide sentient beings from their own experience. And their behavior and their words, their teachings, won't be in harmony. They'll be acting hypocritically. So therefore, a bodhisattva, in order to benefit others, needs to engage in this vast array of activities, cultivating knowledge, developing it, gaining experience within themselves, and then helping others in the most important of ways, guiding them, helping them develop themselves through teaching the Dharma.
Tisana simjen tamjige tandalya nyamne chehures Tsongkhapa da jeyo da kawa duma yis. Tisana simjen tamjige tandalya nyamne chehla ji jeyo de ne kanga mangoli roada kanga mangoli tisana da odo kanga do di je tu sa mare sembe gan zo sim shumba yongure adadi nge jeba na ngalya kanga dine chegire samche kanga ma chebe ne dangbo gang zo nyamne chedu kapla 강아 마테바 오미디 제벤 띵알이야 강아 뭐 치기래 대상을 강아 치기래 선비게 가서 현나로 시제 냠네들 제마도 용거로와 제 양아직 냠는 제리 거블 강아 체자 아다지 강아 쉬우도 다 되는지 제투사 말에 선비게 셈마 보보 슈미하게 되네 용거로와 되네 연자 한 될이야 난 저기 데니기 용어도 갑라 아니 야 안직 데니기 좋았음전 다 음직이 된다야 아제 다 데니기 심전 탐지 판박에 침을 주투에게 좋아 심전 탐지래 지기 된다래 제가 뱀마스 야고래 삼제 당아깔에 연에 데니깔에는 이 판도 싶에 심전 탐지래 판박에 침을 주에 된다 미국 자침을 쉬우래 제사다 산지 고방 토는 산지 고방에 토소가 있는 현래 판박 안에서 주비네 그 펜바 개침부 두고 세상에 되네 개침부 두야야 직갈레도스 개다 아바 되네 되잡도 잡섬지 셈마슈바지 배 되네 냠네제 가신 조신원도 준주게 쪼게제 준주게야다 안 되네기 가브리엘야 가브리옹오수 아니 냠네제야 오다디지능이 강아 체결했습니다 오다 강아 체나 가요래 지 나랑기 돈단 말에 니 심전 팽이 돈다 현래 팽비 돈다 지고 지상 니 사지고 방 토비치도 갈래 잡고래 산지고 토바나 현래 판도 쉬우치 같이 모은 거 되네자제 되네 강아야다 강아 신나게 오면도 되네장이 강아 가지 좀다 잡긴 가지 강아 좀 나가 봐 심슈 자고 자기는 매 되네지야 마세 야고래서 될 좋아 준주 숙제무게네 안냠는 제고래제래 가와도 마 예세다 내야 두마시되다 망부 강아되네기 준주 난데 지켜 두시네 냠는 제고래서
So we've heard that the Bodhisattva is motivated to engage in practice and cultivation of the minds of the Dharma and then express this, to share this, motivated to be of greatest benefit to all sentient beings without exception, all mother beings without exception. So embarking on such a journey and persevering on such a journey, it is certain that a great number of hardships and difficulties will be experienced. These problems may well have an impact on the mind of the Bodhisattva. The Bodhisattva's mind may well lose strength, or their confidence may be knocked, thinking, this really is just too much. When I reflect on the vastness of the number of beings, the multitude of personalities, and sometimes perhaps how strange some people's way of thinking is, this can lead to hardship in the mind, thinking that this is really too much. Each and every single sentient being, I take their welfare as my personal responsibility. That can feel overwhelming. So hardships or difficulties like this are to be expected. So the Bodhisattva here, through the generation of this incomparable mind of bodhicitta, constantly strengthens their motivation to liberate each and every sentient being, no matter what situation they're in, who they are, how perverse their behavior and way of thinking may be. And they generate this motivation ever stronger through the reflections that led to the cultivation of bodhicitta, and through the understanding of the great benefits that they have experienced through the Dharma, and wanting others to experience these too, and also attain the exalted state of enlightenment itself. And in this way, whatever hardships and difficulties that are encountered, and many are, these are transformed. And there's no thinking of, through this activity, do I get anything out of it? Is there anything beneficial for myself? Rather, through being solely focused on the welfare of mother sentient beings, every hardship is transformed and overcome. And bodhisattvas strive through hardships without respite for the benefit of others. And these hardships need to be understood in terms of, we don't have it here, but in terms of a multitude. That is not something that happens rarely or occasionally or only in one form, but hardships on this path are routinely encountered and routinely need to be transformed and transcended.
Adenigi semjen tamjegi dondo ane nyamlin chevala ane kanga yobe ne delia pe zundu shu chawo je semjen tamjegi dona la zuga lam nyamlin deshi sab Geshe lam yirin ba da ane sabe lam yirin nyamlin che hures deyang suda ane deyang logic da ane dawa khashe da lo khashe da ane di zamayen ba ane chi sanju ko ma do yi ba do ane yunlingu shu ga je na che hures de tamadile 가와报도면버 주버쇼스의 가와 근데报도면버 가와 가제 냠는 지원나 냠는 지야기 아니 냠는 지고래서 가와报도면버 냠는 지고래서
Another characteristic of this mind of bodhicitta is that it is a mind that is incredibly vast, as well as having a view that is so it's a mind that is incredibly spacious, as well as observing the how do you say, not just wide but also forward looking, something like that. And this means that for the sake of all mother sentient beings. They will persevere through any and every hardship that they encounter, and in order to continue to cultivate the stages of the vast and the stages of the profound practices. And this is something that they will continue over countless eons, not until they've had enough, not for a certain number of years or lifetimes, but until their heartfelt objective is achieved. And this will take countless eons. And this, their mind is vast and expansive enough to be able to embrace and not see this as a hardship, but as they're having ongoing opportunities to benefit others.
Geshe lamjira ba tong yu to be shera ta jam ni je an ja ju passion ju ge nyam len dige ya bu ji nyam le ya bu ji tu wa sho de ya an ne ji ge zhen ju ge be ne ga wa ru ji gang ga ru che wei ne zhen ju be shu zhao bo jie jie de ne nyam len je be ya bu le zhen ju shu zhao bo jie jie an ne de ne nyam len je wa de ya an lo kashi samai ba ga do ga ba do me ba san ji go ma to bi ba do tu si nyam len je tu wa sho sen mo lam ja go le je le.
The meaning then of this verse is that having attained ordination and living in pure conduct, then one needs to train in the Mahayana Dharma, cultivating the minds of love and compassion to the extent where bodhicitta arises within oneself. And through doing so, one generates a formidable joyous perseverance, a mind that delights in continuing to engage in virtue and acting in ways that bring vast benefit to an immeasurable number of beings. And doing so for countless eons, until each and every sentient being without exception attains the exalted state of enlightenment.
Dondala anjogi digi labjaru karitiko labna ngarazo labja karitiko se ngarazo da dada mitenza danju miliru topje denigi topigi nyamlenche tela ko haptine ya ko yobachilya nyamle ya ko che gure sungorwa denenza ane nyamle ya ko che gure sungorwa da nyamlenche de ganeje se ngarazo da ngarazo nyamlenche la kanga shuwa da ka se ngarazo da nyamlenche le dangbo 신에 고 중국어 다 잠잠 레로 타네 강아요 잠잠 수비 타네 지금 아주 레가 타네가 강아 몽블리가 이내다 아 저게 샘슐 마소나 다 좋아 샘제 탐지기 돈달라 산지 고바 토베치 냠는 지야 디른 고가브라 빼 야고레 삼제 한 소수기 가호금 안 저게 다 니네니들이야 쇼건이야 라도 가상 슈바 나신 쇼건이야 라도 건조숨 제디켄 삼제다 안 저기 동아 간데시네 건조숨지 겹투구리 다 건조숨 니가 예스베 다 건조숨나야 이체 대바체야다 데니기 안 대바체네 안 니바텔라 다디린 당아 저기 밀리즘 버체 톱체 안 고급진의 레디 갑레 양이 안 지게 샘제 제 산주 베네 코비 동아 랑 지고만 셴샘제 탐제 코비 동아 르드제 산주 고방 토에 된다라 냠네 지긴 샘비게 삼로시당 고로와 디네 삼다네 디네 닌가 지었으나 당아 저기 제와로 뜻 마와로 삼도네 샘제 탐제 랑기 파지 파마지 뇨와다 디네 아니 거소레 진체 뭐 임바 아니 네두 삼다야다 디네 아니 잠바 은세어 니시 되는 라사 남다 삼다 되는 자주 셈 삼다여와 나 되네기 두션 삼다 되는 자주 셈제 탐주선 요거 토벌쇼 셈제 토 자주 셈 삼다네 군노 니 된다라 이 셈제 탐지기 선요고 토야 된다라 아니 이 냠는지 가리 냠는지 해서는 당이 디른 융아 유스미 관에 샤라 뇌비 자와사다 자와지기 지금에 선비게 디스 주팀 삼다 디삼다야들이 디네가 융아 유스미 관에 샤헬레 펜비 자와 네 같이 죽인 삼바데 진이 진배 냠나 삼다야 돼 나네 셴예다 랑기 다 지금 냠는 제알이야 강화 용화디게다 강화디게 강화 Sutuada, and the Shengi, Rala Never, Delia, some Matroche, and the Suba, Subium, she says some diada. Then the nigger some daje, and Jugi, Lalan Tawuro, the names are that. The Niki Jawa Kiwi Jawa Simja Tamjiki Tundal, Sanjo Govan Toya, Tundala, the Niki Jawa Tumio, Bear, Koha Yakurasha, the Nishi Bay Yakures, and the Niki Yamne, Tarshim, but the Chi, some Goha Yakur, Dirawa, the Yakure, some the Yamne Chia, Duba, Junji Yamne, Junji some died. Some died, Junji Yamne. Just a Dini in Zadang, Dini some died, something shit in Yamne Chos, that answer don't need a dame, but the Kai or Toyo, Mato in the answer. Sim Tiju nearby, nearly a Jango or rather, Jango has answer to do in the dinner some daje, that the Mibadi, Sangelia, some daje, some Tanada, Susuki Lama, some Tanada, Debaji to Jesse Susugeda, Sanje Dumachum, some Delia, some daje, some Kama, Matroaje, Della Zeji to Nibi, Gazeti to something to some Dahare, Yana to Jachu Semje, Tam Sayuko Tokosho, some the Samlo di Kichuche, in the Samlo di Pa, Yema Chuche, Sem Shanda, some Guinea Mata, Dirang, some Zeju, some time, the Nigi, two Chine, Jahadi, and thing is in the Jango, something Yamnajala, that Jango or Gozu or that, on do some diary. That the Nigi Shera Yamnazia, the Nanjuge, that's it, don't you say the Kanashina, some chicken, don't you say the Kanashi, Sajing, and don't you Chevache do that. Rangi, Rashi Matubasilla, Tonya Labore, Rashi Tubna, Ganis Tubore, Lana, Buddha, King, Chasha Kala, Madua Rangwini, Tubadilla, Tonya, Rashi Tubalabore. Denichi Mabachilla, Denichi Toma del Tonya Labore. She said, Denigi said, Denis do some Jamaji, Jevachi, then I took Buddha, King, Chashil, Tuba, Jevache, do Jevache some time. And don't you let Jeba said, the sheriff in Yamla go to war, which is don't you do your Martin, T. Don't you do a short songe, the Lamgada songe on the Jeba go to war, the Neza, sheriff in Yamlan, Jala go to war. And do send Ninia and the nigger some died, that didn't Casada didn't Chasaji well, I'm to love Jedina, Yamlan Chedre, Chesa Dineza, Denege, and Chike. Denigi Yamlenchia, Denigi Yamlencheva, some Dinetama Maze, Yamlencheva, and another Tamadilla, Molam Jadre, that is a Denigi Kawasa, Yamlenchia, the bed must say Chikawa Chiman, Yamne Yahuchi to or Shosada. Denigi, Kawasa Shaba, the Joa Simja, Tamje, Sanjoko want to be Guru or Shosada. Me Kawasa Shaba Della Tinigi, Marang Yamne, Tarshinja, Sanjoko, Nudu Topje, me Joa Simja Tamjel, Pambadi, Pandoje. To show said, and the Nigi Molam Jare. Then to get the Nigi give Sashi, Gawa Della Dene, Gawa Delatin, and around to get Tiki Shinya, and then around to get Sabari Michela Sofa, and the Jawara Michela Sofa, Kusipa, Demba, Kusirin to Dare, and Zabatility, and the Yahu show said, the Nigi Molam Jare, that Molam thing was a Duchine. Molam Jade, Chesna, the names of Molam Jade, Tamadilla, Dangin Yamlen Jade, Tavasim Jade, Tamjiki, Dundal, and Yamlen Jade, Yamlen Tarachim, but the one shows Molam Jade did it. Chesna, the Nimiri, the near some Dajang Church, Yamlen, Church, Yamlen Jade, then on simply a Jango Jade, what is that? Didn't you answer your Lobsang, that Dortina answer some tidy disorder.
So everyone sitting here, we have attained a human rebirth, and a human rebirth that is marked by being precious, in that we have the most excellent of opportunities to practice, to develop our minds. However, as we know from our own experience, that as beginners, we have many obstacles to engage in practice, to continue in engaging in practice, and to experience success in our practice. And these obstacles come about because we are beginners, so we have obstacles in terms of laziness, or our time being taken up by many different activities, whether it's work or family related. And even when we're not engaged in actual those variety of activities, our mind may be still present in those activities. So as beginners, we do experience many obstacles, and therefore it's difficult to cultivate a sustained practice, and it's therefore difficult to spiritually develop. But the way then to overcome this is to cultivate, first of all, the discipline to engage in a meditation practice. And then as one starts to experience a change in one's mind, the wish to continue to engage in meditation will be that much stronger because of having seen the benefits, experienced the change. One won't only know about the benefits through having heard so, but one will know experientially. So the meditation I would encourage you to engage in every day is, we can present it here in four parts, maybe 5 parts. So the first then is that to generate great strength of mind at the outset of your meditation. And the way to do that is first to reflect on the opportunity that you have attained yourself through the accumulation of the causes that you are now experiencing the result of. Generate great joy at your opportunity at receiving teachings in the Dharma, having the opportunity to reflect on them, engage in retreat. And then with this joyous, strong mind, turn towards the 3 jewels and to one's teacher, generating faith that through following their example, implementing the teachings they give oneself, then those teachings arising in one's mind, this is the protection from suffering. In this way we generate faith in our teacher and the 3 jewels. And then that's the first step. Then the second step is the reflection on the sufferings of cyclic existence and their causes. And we think about the causes of suffering, or the variety of sufferings in cyclic existence and their causes, as well as then, briefly, how to eliminate those causes. And then we end the second step by taking this understanding, which we should cultivate in relation to our own experience, so that the emotion that arises within us is genuine. And we relate this experience to others, knowing that others are suffering in the same way as we are, through the same reasons. And they, just like us, share a wish to be freed, to be liberated from the suffering state. And then we're ready to move to the third step of the meditation, which is the cultivation of bodhicitta. And this can be done through reflecting on the personal and the intimate relationship that we have with each and every sentient being. And this is done through reflecting on how throughout beginner's lifetimes we have cultivated the relationship of parent and child with others. And through this relationship, as well as many other relationships, beings in life after life have shown us tremendous kindness. They've shown us kindness directly as well as indirectly. In this life, our previous life, and all previous lives, generating an understanding of this relationship, this intimate relationship we have with all beings, as well as the kindness that they have shown and are showing us. The wish to repay that kindness will arise within us. And then we cultivate these minds further, giving rise to love and compassion and special intention, and then bodhicitta itself. Bodhicitta being the mind that, in order to liberate each and every sentient being from suffering, then secondly, I will attain enlightenment so as to be the most skilled of guides. Those 2 aspirations. And one gives rise to the mind of bodhicitta. And that then is the third step of the meditation. And then one comes to the fourth of the 5 steps. So the first was to generate strength of mind through joy in opportunity and refuge. The second was on suffering and the causes of suffering and the path to be freed of suffering. A third was bodhicitta. Fourth is the practices of a bodhisattva. And then these, in brief, because we've covered them a few times, is the mind of ethical conduct. This commitment not to harm others through our physical activities, our verbal activities, under any circumstances. And we bring this about not just through being disciplined, but through subduing our mind, training our mind. And then, in addition to this commitment to not bringing harm, we cultivate the second practice, that of generosity, which is the mind wishing to give, or to express it differently, the mind wishing to bring benefit to others. Whether it's done so through material or other physical help, whether it's done so through protecting them through beings who are in danger and protecting their lives, or whether it's done through giving advice or teaching the Dharma. Generate the wish that in whatever opportunity comes my way to be of benefit to others, in accordance with my capacity and my relationship with the other, may I take that opportunity and help others as best I can. And that's the practice of generosity. And thirdly is that of patience. The mind that stays unsubdued, the mind that stays undisturbed in the face of adversity. So whether adversity is coming from others, so from external events or people, or from our own inner turmoil, or through having difficulties in cultivating the minds of the Dharma, from whichever source our obstacles come, the practice of patience is keeping the mind vast and expansive, aware of the great benefit that comes through transforming the situation, that comes through an understanding of the suffering of others, and thereby, and it comes through having love and compassion for others. In this way we practice patience with the difficulties that we encounter, and we are not overwhelmed by them. Our mind is not overwhelmed by them. Our mind stays peaceful and calm and spacious, and we can then respond with skill and love and compassion. And then the fourth practice is that of joyous perseverance, where once again we generate great joy at our opportunity, and we commit to continuing to train like this, not being overwhelmed by any of the hardships that we will continue to experience, but continue to strive to achieve the greatest of goals for all beings. And then fifthly, the mind of concentration. So this can be cultivated in two ways. The way we mentioned yesterday is through cultivating it in dependence on an analytical object. So it can be done on any of the objects of meditation, but say bodhicitta. In the third step of the meditation, when bodhicitta arises, just rest with that. Then the object that we develop concentration on is bodhicitta, the mind of bodhicitta, and we rest on that. We gain familiarity. And when it fades away, we regenerate it, and we abide with that mind. And in this way, we strengthen our familiarity with the mind of bodhicitta, we strengthen our concentration. And then, if we don't choose to develop bodhicitta and concentration that way, we can do so through holding a visualized object, or say the Buddha image, or or our own teacher, and we can hold that with concentration. When that fades, regenerate it. And in this way, we develop an ever more concentrated mind. And concentration is important, because without having calm abiding, one cannot attain actual bodhicitta. One needs concentration, that's union of calm abiding and meditative insight, to accomplish uncontrite bodhicitta, actual bodhicitta. So it is an important mind to cultivate. And then the sixth mind is that of wisdom. So wisdom is, as we heard yesterday, is an investigating mind, a mind of wisdom that investigates objects. So it can be used in any context. It's an analytical, investigating mind, such as investigating suffering and its causes. But in this context, the perfection of wisdom, it refers to investigating reality. Here, we look at first, so those who've been coming to the teachings on praise for dependent arising will know this well, but that we just have time to mention it briefly now. You first gain familiarity with how any object appears to the mind, whether it's an external phenomenon or an inner phenomenon such as the self or a mind, how it appears to the mind. And then then investigate whether it exists in the way that it appears. And we investigate and we come to see it doesn't exist in the way that it appears. It is empty of existing in the way that it appears. And the way that it appears is as inherently existent. And this way we realize that the object is empty of inherent existence. But does that mean the object doesn't exist at all? No, it's a dependent arising. So the object is empty of existing inherently. It doesn't exist in the way that appears, but it still exists. And how? Dependently. So in this way, we cultivate the wisdom understanding reality, through investigating reality, and develop our wisdom understanding emptiness through this realization of dependent arising and that phenomena lack inherent existence. In this way we gain familiarity with the wisdom realizing emptiness. So these then are the first 4 steps of the 5, with the 4th being the 6 perfections. And the final step then is to conclude with a prayer and dedication. So here I would encourage you to make prayers that one continues to cultivate these minds repeatedly over a sustained period, not just in this meditation session, not just for the duration of the retreat, but repeatedly throughout the duration of this life and each and every subsequent life, until the attainment of the final goal, the goal when each sentient being without exception has arisen as a Buddha. And then secondly, that our teachers, His Holiness Lama Zopa, whichever teachers we rely on, that they remain stably in this world, that their enlightened activities are accomplished quickly, and that we become an ever greater instrument of the accomplishment of their enlightened activities. And through engaging in this meditation, these 5 practices, repeatedly over a sustained period, we will be transforming our mind. And training the mind, transforming the mind, is the meaning of meditation. The other way to translate this word for meditation is familiarity or habituation. And that is what meditation is. It's familiarizing the mind to a new way of thinking. It's breaking our familiarity to harmful ways of thinking. So this is training the mind. This is meditation. This advice that I've given now, it's my sincere wish that all of you take this up and incorporate it into your lives and transform your lives in this way. And in the same way that I share my aspiration with you, I also share a commitment with all of you that I will train myself in this way, that I will continue to train in this way. And in this way, we can all progress in our mental development, our spiritual progression. So we'll finish here, and then tomorrow we'll continue in the text. And we'll continue looking at the practices of bodhisattvas, in particular the need for those embarking on the journey of the Mahayana Dharma to rely on a qualified teacher. And the text then continues with the cultivation of prayers to always meet and rely on authentic and genuine Mahayana teachers. Thank you.